And good morning, everybody. Welcome. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Bruce, how are you this morning?
Ready to go, Eric, on a, Thursday, NFL opening day. We get Saquon Barkley and Dak Prescott and the Eagles and the Cowboys tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Then right into AFC West tomorrow in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Yeah.
As the Chiefs and the Chargers get going. So, hey, if you haven't got your fantasy lineup set, you better get it done quickly, right?
Exactly. Hey, real quick, want to tell you about Roller Auction, the leader in Colorado auctions for over 45 years. Tomorrow, or I should say today, the Larkspur Outlet Home Improvement Store is having an auction for wood, fencing, decking, bathroom, kitchen, laundry, room accessories, light fixtures, contractor tools, and more. I'll spit that out once I get all the marbles out of my mouth. Online bidding is started at rollerauction.com. Don't forget to go to rollerauction.com to learn about upcoming auctions. Get what you want at the price you want today at Roller Auction. Time now for the lead.
The lead is presented by Smokin' Dave's Barbecue. It is not just the best barbecue in town, it is one of the best restaurants in town. You can find Smokin' Dave's Barbecue off 36th and Pecos.
Jeffery Simmons, an excellent defensive lineman, one of the better guys in the league, a multiple second-team All-Pro, said this after watching game film on Bo Nix, or I think he watched game film. I can't tell you for sure after what he said. He said about Bo Nix, if his first read is not there, he's just going to take off running. When Sean Payton was asked about Simmons' comments, he said, I would disagree with this. He doesn't just, look at his first read and go for a run. He goes, I know this for a fact. So what does it say about Simmons' preparation, maybe the preparation of the entire Titans defense, that they actually and potentially believe this?
Yeah, I was I'm not going to say I was dumbfounded, but I was pretty surprised when I heard that. Bo Nix does not have happy feet. He's just not, and I don't know how much film you need to watch of him to know that. And by happy feet, I mean that he wants to get out of the pocket as soon as there's the first hint of pressure, or he watches one progression go, and if it's not there, I'm out of here. He doesn't function that way, hasn't functioned that way. I thought it was very interesting. And you brought up the question in your notes that I was reading last night, how well or not very well is this team preparing to take on a guy like Bo Nix? And my answer to that question is there's a reason they only won 3 games last year. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I'm going to give him a little credit for maybe misspeaking. Maybe he meant, although I don't even know if I can spin this right. I don't know how I can defend him. Maybe what he meant was, if his first read isn't there, he will slide in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Maybe.
Which he does do. And almost all quarterbacks who have any type of mobility will slide. But it doesn't mean they go for a run. That's the only way I can try and square this circle.
You did a nice job with that, Eric. You did a nice job reaching out across the miles to Simmons and said, it's okay, I've got your back. Hey, the guy's a hell of a player, right? We do know that. He's a problem, and he will be a problem on Sunday. So I don't care what he's seeing on film and how he's interpreting it. He still has to be blocked in certain situations. He's still going to be a double team because he's the one guy up there that can really hurt you on that defensive front. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's what he does mean. But I thought that Sean Payton just played it. It wasn't like he was amazed. He just was like, matter of factly, well, I just disagree with that take, and so off we go.
Here's a shout out, not that he needs my help, to Denard Wilson, who is the defensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. If you really believe in your heart that he is a running quarterback, talking about Bo Nix, feel free to waste a guy as a spy on him. And you're going to get chewed up because then you're going to be playing 11 on 10.
Yeah. That's not a good plan. It really isn't a good plan at all. Because that makes the game somewhere in the 31-13 range or something like that. The Titans are going to have to be very creative with what they do defensively, as many different kinds of looks. I mean, I don't know if they think that they're playing with house money coming in. I mean, the Broncos still have things to prove. They've been 0-2 the last 2 years. We've talked about that, ad nauseum. But I would imagine that they probably try to throw the kitchen sink. In one way, it's more of a protective thing for a rookie quarterback. You've got Cam Ward. You're trying to do anything that you can to help him manage his game in this first bit of action as a rookie. So you got to try to do some different things on defense to help him out as well. I'll be interested to see what they do. I think Tennessee's got their hands full on Sunday coming in here. I really do.
I really didn't realize this until I looked at the numbers. I didn't realize that Bo Nix ran the ball 92 times last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That seems rather high. Now, granted, you have Jaden Daniels, who ran about 170 last year. Okay. So 92 times for 430 yards, averaging 25 yards a game for Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a weapon running the ball if they chose to make him a weapon in the running game. With that, do you think those numbers are higher or lower this season?
I think that I think maybe slightly lower. Let's not forget that Bo Nix, and I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I believe it was 4 of the first 5 games, he was their leading rusher last year. So he started the season on a real run, on a roll, if you will. I don't think that we probably start from there this season, but he probably gets in a similar range, but maybe he gets there a little bit differently. And maybe it's a different kind of way that he gets there. I'd say somewhere in the 400-yard range would be good. I mean, I will say this, Eric, other than maybe the first couple of games when there were times that he was running under duress a little bit, I felt as the season went on, he got more and more intelligent about when he needed to run. He certainly has the aptitude and the ability to run and to be a creative runner. He showed that all last year, but I think he's an intelligent runner too. I don't think that he needs to default to that too quickly.
Here's my expert analysis, and I put that in quotes, all caps. If injuries weren't part of running, I would suggest that he runs more because he is a weapon. Unfortunately, injuries, I believe, that's why I'm calling expert analysis. I believe injuries are a part of the game when you have an unprotected quarterback crossing over that line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
With that, Kurt Warner told our friend Troy Rank of the Denver Post that the Broncos are not a Super Bowl contender because, quote, the biggest question is the run game and being more consistent on the outside with a weapon in the passing game. They never had that guy in the run game. I know they have added there. And on the outside, I love Courtland Sutton, but you have to find at least one other player who can be a go-to guy. You agree with this analysis?
I think it's right on target. Totally on target. In fact, that is nail on the head type of on target. I think I agree with him with every single word of his analysis.
You love Courtland Sutton as a coaching staff, and he's dependable, and he's a leader, and he's a captain again, and I get all that. But if they don't have a guy, and I understand maybe with all the guys they have who are pass catchers, every guy averages like 600 yards. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
You need Sutton at 1,000, and you need another guy at about 850 to 1,000.
Yep.
I'm not suggesting you're going to have the Jamar Chase, T. Higgins model, but you have to have a guy out there besides Sutton who is a legitimate threat. So with that, when we're looking at the pass catchers on the roster, is Evan Ingram the most logical choice to be that weapon, or do you think it would be somebody else who, according to Warner, somebody has to emerge?
I think Evan Ingram health, and we'll take the equation of health out of this because you and I don't know how the health thing is going to work out for Evan Ingram.
Well, right now it's not working out too well for Dre Greenlaw.
No, it is not. It is not.
Soft tissue. And that has not been a bugaboo for the most part over the last couple of years. But then again, when they brought in Dre Greenlaw, they knew that at times his body fails him. It's not his fault. It's not like he doesn't work out. It's not like he doesn't rehab. Sometimes your body fails you, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. I will maintain what I think I've kind of started to say or have said throughout the preseason. I think Evan Ingram will lead the team in targets.
How many? How many catches do you think he has?
I think he'll be their second leading receiver.
With how many yards?
I think he will be in the 800 range.
How many catches?
I think he will be in the high 70s, low 80s kind of thing, maybe something like that.
Well, you're gonna love me because I made a bet with a friend of mine who, let's just say, is a big sports fan, a big homer. Let's just say his name, I don't know, is John. Let's just say he's one of the owners of the sports book. Yeah. And we have a bet that I took the under on 110 catches this year. Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
I took the under on 110 catches.
Well, we appreciate.
I'm feeling pretty good.
We appreciate John's enthusiasm, and I know it's called the sports book.
Yeah,
but
no. I take that back. I'm wrong. It wasn't on the catches. He said over 1,100 yards.
I think he's capable of that.
Of course, he's capable.
He's capable of that. Yeah. I don't think that will happen, and I don't think it's the offense is designed for that to happen.
Right.
I do think that Marvin Mims will get most of the stretch plays in this offense, but Troy Franklin's going to get some too. You're talking about the two best guys with straight line speed. And so that's intriguing. I think Pat Bryant is going to be a very interesting guy in this receiving core. His route tree is really interesting, but he tends to be a middle of the guy kind of field as when I'm watching, and I try to, you know me, I chart everything like our buddy Andrew Mason, and we chart things, and so I try to watch patterns and where he goes with his route tree and stuff. Man, he loves that 12, 14 yard quick turn in the middle kind of space. So I don't know. I think that the Broncos are going to have plenty of options in their passing game. But to your point, and it's a good one, and let's reiterate it, and it's Kurt Warner's point, you've got to have someone develop and evolve into that second really dangerous go-to guy. Can it be Evan Ingram? Yes, I think it can be. Can it be one of those two other guys that we talked about, Mims or Franklin? Yeah, it probably can, but we will need to see it. Because, we've seen it in fits and starts with Mims at the end of last season. Think the Cincinnati game. We've seen it with Troy Franklin at the beginning of this season, but we got to see it now as it gets going on Sunday.
Okay, you can make the case that, Great quarterbacks playing right now. I'm going to use two as an example, Mahomes, Allen. Is it fair to say they're great at making their teammates better?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Just because you put up big numbers as a quarterback, I don't think necessarily means you make your teammates better. Is Nix at this level yet?
I think approaching this level. I'm not going to say he's at this level yet.
Right.
And he has a very good opportunity to get to that level this year with a team that needs his ability to make it a more diversified, versatile offense. That's really, I think that's really what Sean Payton wants this year. More versatility in the offense. 2 new guys in the running back room, new guy at tight end, better understanding of the offense, can get to things quicker, can manage things with more time at the line of scrimmage, all of these things. But can you produce with those added benefits to elevate a guy like Marvin Mims beyond just a guy that, that's intriguing. I mean, you look at Marvin and you think, damn, that was a pretty good end to the season. Very intriguing. Now, can he be beyond intriguing? Can he be a consistent factor? Can Troy Franklin all of a sudden in his second year be a guy in this offense that you have to account for? You're looking for guys that you have to account for. Cortland Sutton is already that guy. Now you've got 3 other guys in your receiving rotation, 2 of which have got to come to the fore for this football team.
Okay, so generally speaking, when we evaluate quarterbacks on how great they are, how many Super Bowls have you won? Which I don't necessarily believe is fair. You need a great quarterback, generally speaking, to win a title, but I'm not going to say just because you got to a Super Bowl and lost, you're not a great quarterback. But who's the greatest quarterback of all time? 7 Super Bowls, not number 7 Super Bowls. That's Tom Brady. He's at the top. I don't know if he's the greatest quarterback of all time. I mean, I can make arguments for other guys.
Sure.
But with 7 Super Bowls, it's a slam dunk. So you evaluate guys, generally speaking, media and fans, by Super Bowls and stats. Why don't we factor in the Nikola Jokic effect, which is making your teammates better around you? How come that is never truly discussed?
Interesting question. And even in Nikola's case, I think that factor helped him more than anything to become an MVP, because I think it was recognized begrudgingly, slowly, maybe more slowly than it should have been recognized, but eventually was recognized by NBA people.
Right.
So there is an appreciation for that. We're always looking, we should always be looking for guys that have the ability, the rare ability, Eric, to elevate those around them. We flippantly define greatness that way. There's a, did he make the guys around him better? It's rare that it happens. I mean, we can talk about various people over the years, but it's still a very rare trait. Bo Nix has that opportunity, I think, this year. He doesn't have, correct me, I mean, Evan Ingram was a first-round draft pick, okay? He was a first-round draft pick. He is later in his career. But in terms of the guys that he is dealing with, they are all guys, second, third, fourth-round guys. And granted, they've got some tread on, they've got some experience now, but you're not talking about guys that were silver spoon dudes that came in as first round talents. You have that chance to elevate those around you. And in that, the opportunity this year for Bo Nix to take a pretty quantum leap into the next level of quarterbacking exists, I think.
When you look at Manning and Brady, and I know we're looking at 2 of the top guys of all time, When Brady started his career, he won Super Bowls with Deion Branch and Givens.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Now, for Peyton Manning, he had more quality, no disrespect to those guys. They did play in the NFL. He had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. But I think even Brandon Stokely would say, Manning helped me get a lot better, right?
Yes.
Now, when you look at the Patriots, they brought in Wes Welker from the Dolphins. He was a nothing burger before he got there. Julian Edelman,
Yeah.
Danny Amendola made all of those guys better. While Sean Payton believes that Nix will be a top 5 quarterback in the next 2 years, do you project Nix being a guy who can take a good wide receiver and turn them into Edelman, Welker, Amendola?
Yes. How about that for concise? Yes, I do. Whether he'll do it or not remains to be seen. But he has if we're talking about that alone, if we're talking about the whole concept of elevating players around you, just that challenge alone, his situation is about as good as you can ask for right now, because you've got weapons. How do you use them? If you use them productively, that whole element of players around you rising will just come naturally.
What great quarterbacks do is, and you see this all the time, and we saw it specifically from 2016 for a while, right?
Yep.
That when the Broncos quarterbacks threw, guys were usually in coverage. The great quarterbacks, they always seem to throw to the open guy.
Yeah, isn't that
for some
funny?
reason.
Yeah.
Mike Miller, former basketball player, famously said about one of his first couple of practices with the Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. And somebody from the Nuggets said to Mike Miller, "What do you think of that guy?" And the guy pointed towards Jokic. He goes, "He's a goofy looking guy, not in shape, but he is the Matrix." That was his words. Mike Miller said about Nikola, if you've ever seen the movie, which I'm guessing you have, right?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you've seen the Netflix series of Queen's Gambit, where she's looking at the ceiling and she's moving pieces with her head, in her mind, I should say. So I don't know if Bo Nix will get to that Matrix level, but Mahomes is there.
Yeah.
Brady was there. Manning was there. That's what great quarterbacking is. When you can think in the Matrix where things are so slow. And Nix, I think, has that potential.
And I think part of what we're talking about is the patience to take what the defense gives you. And I think that that's where Bo Nix will really excel. But
also putting defenses in a spot like in chess, where I know we're running this play, but I'm going to convince you we're doing this when I know we're doing that.
Right, absolutely.
And that's how wide receivers get open.
That's right. And that's all part of the equation. And if you can be patient enough to allow your offense to take what the defense gives you without forcing the ball, we will all be amazed at how good this offense looks. And then every now and then, you've still got to have that big play ability where you can fit it in to a tight spot, where you can fit it in between a couple of guys. But you don't have to do that all the time.
Right.
The key is stay ahead of the sticks, allow what the defense gives you, and then when you've got to make the big play, be able to make it consistently. That's a hard ask. That's what everyone is shooting for. But I think Bo Nix is in a unique position to reap the rewards of that reality.
When you are in the Matrix as a quarterback, a lot of your throws are easy.
Sure.
Because the guy's open.
Right.
Because you've designed it that way. It's when you're not in the Matrix and things are going too fast, You always seem to be throwing into coverage. Coming up after the break, there's a great saying in football. If you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. The Buffs are starting two quarterbacks on Saturday against Delaware. Is this the best idea right now, one game into the season? Is the leash for Kaidon Salter that big? That's next.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk have another incredible promotion. They'll be giving away a Ford Maverick Tremor truck or over $25,000 in cash the weekend of October 24th. Daily cash drawings are every 45 minutes between 10 a.m. and midnight. Players can earn daily entries with every locked-up jackpot or by redeeming players' points on their players' cards. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos, loose slots, phenomenal promotions, great food, and a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch in the DTC. Both locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook is a hangout bar or great for private parties. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, the DTC, and coming soon to Parker. They are the sports bar.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. Don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corned bake. Man, you gotta try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
And welcome back. Hot Takes with Goodman and Haertl. If you are looking for the best barbecue in town, you probably think I've got my spot. Let me give you a suggestion. Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. You can find them off of 36 in Pecos. It's more than just a barbecue spot where they serve slowly smoked ribs and great brisket and pulled pork and yada, yada, yada. It's the way they put it together on the menu that you're not going to see on other menus. Let me give you an example. And oh, by the way, let me know if you've ever seen this on a barbecue menu. Smoked meatloaf, smoking meatloaf. It has chorizo, sweet Italian sausage, porter beer, smoked cheddar. It's served with sauteed onions, mushrooms, and balsamic vinegar cream sauce. Got 2 sides and cornbread with that. You don't see that type of combination. Dave had a life before this, and he decided to put everything that he knew into this menu. That's why you get this flavorful plate of great barbecue with all of these different ingredients instead of, here's some brisket.
Here's some pork.
Here's some pork. And it's just sitting there naked on a plate with some bad mac and cheese. Okay. My daughter is probably listening to this show downstairs as she's getting ready for school. But I'll never forget, she liked the orange macaroni and cheese right out of the box. And I brought home some stuff from Smokin' Dave's. She was young at the time, and she loved it. Dave got the highest endorsement from an 11-year-old at that time. You will love Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. Find them off of 36th and Pecos. Time now for What's Trending.
What's Trending is presented by Ferguson's Heating and Cooling. Your family should trust the Ferguson family for all your heating and cooling needs, and you'll see why they have over 165 5-star Google reviews. Make an appointment today at fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Deion Sanders says he's going to play both of his quarterbacks, Kaidon Salter and JuJu Lewis, against Delaware on Saturday. Is this more about a short leash for Salter, or Sanders just wants to see JuJu get some experience?
I think the latter. I hope the latter. Should be, and I'll underline that, should be a safe opponent with which to do it. But I think you want to see a little bit of what you have and bring along JuJu at some rate of speed, with the understanding that Salter is probably your guy, unless JuJu does something or other crazy, like throw it around for 300 and some odd yards. I don't think he'll have that many reps to do something like that. But I think it makes some sense in this situation to get some experience for your young 5-star rookie.
I would expect Salter to play well against Delaware.
Yes.
I would expect JuJu to play well against Delaware. If both guys play well, you now have yourself a quarterback controversy. And I think that is a recipe for a quarterback controversy as much as anything else.
It's never a good thing. The times that I've been around it, which are quite a bit.
Me too.
When you have a couple of quarterbacks, it never quite seems to work out the way that you would like it to. Maybe, hey, we've got a pocket passer, and then we've got the running guy that comes in.
Can I cut you off right there?
Sure.
I called a friend of mine who was a longtime NFL offensive lineman. And I said to him, when you play with a guy for 2 to 3 years, is it fair to say, even though that your back is to that quarterback, you know his tendencies?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And I asked him about Salter and JuJu, and he didn't know a ton about JuJu because nobody knows a ton about JuJu. All we know is what he did in high school. And he said, well, if they're similar quarterbacks, that shouldn't be a problem. But they aren't similar quarterbacks.
No, they aren't.
At all. And so now as an offensive line, you have to adjust to a guy who does want to stay in the pocket, isn't considered a great runner in JuJu, as opposed to a dual threat quarterback. And throw in the fact that you have 4 new offensive linemen who are still trying to gel together. I don't listen. Deion Sanders has forgotten more about football than I have. Although I will say I would have known to call a couple of timeouts. Okay?
Ouch.
He can defend that all he wants to.
Yeah.
I know that I was watching on TV and I'm not standing on the sidelines and I'm not in that pressure cooker, but the fact that he's still defending it, it's like, dude, just take the L and walk away on this one. But he doesn't want to do it. I'm just starting Salter made sense to me on a lot of levels. He is the veteran. But I am really wondering here, Salter has 1 year of eligibility left. This is it for him. Do you think Kaidon Salter would have come here knowing that he has to fight for a job with a 5-star recruit?
Don't know. Certainly when – I think that he probably understands the recruiting process. He was recruited by Deion. So he probably knew there was going to be some room. There was going to be some company in the kitchen.
And there's nothing wrong with having competition.
Yeah.
But a 5-star guy who is highly touted, who even the fans at Folsom Field were getting restless, in the opener against Georgia Tech, where there were some people screaming, get JuJu in there.
Well, yeah, that's always going to be the way it is. They've got issues. They've got some issues they need to take care of. They need to be able to run the ball consistently, and even ahead of quarterback play, I would say that's probably the most important thing that they need to establish in this game against Delaware. This is a team that they should be able to impose their physical will on just by the size and the talent that they have up front. So you better be able to run the ball, because you've got Houston coming up, and I know Houston is nothing to write home about, but you're going to be playing better people here pretty quickly. You do get Wyoming coming in, but then after that, you are into the Big 12, and you better be able to run the ball a little bit, because you're not going to throw the ball the way that you've been able to do it the last couple of years, period. You don't have Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. You don't have those guys. Webster, Horn, those guys are all on to the next level. It's a totally different kind of offense that you're trying to figure out who you are. So first and foremost, you better be able to run the ball and run the ball effectively. After that, if you're asking questions about the offense, then where are we at quarterback would be the next thing on my list, because you're going to have to be, and I think Salter can throw the ball reasonably well. He's a quarterback that's going to do a lot of things on the move. I don't think I remember him at Liberty. That was a guy that got them into a New Year's Day bowl. Let's not forget. This guy could play. So I think that they'll be fine with him. You got to find out a little bit about JuJu, and I will be interested to see what the offense looks like. There was a lot of grumbling from my CU people about Pat Shurmur's call of the game and this, that, and the other thing, but I kind of get where he's going. They've got to be good. They've got to be good at running the ball. They have to be good at running the ball. They haven't been good at running the ball yet.
How short is the leash for Salter? Do you think by game 4, game 5, JuJu is the guy? Because honestly, I'm not suggesting that Deion Sanders sacrifices wins this year, but you want to get this guy up to speed.
Yes, you certainly do. I think I might. I got to see him a little bit. I haven't seen him very much at all.
Nobody has.
Yeah, right. So, I need to see him a little bit, but I kind of know what they have in Salter. Deion kind of knows what he has in Salter. I suppose he knows what he has to some degree with JuJu, but he needs to see it under fire. So I would think week 4 or week 5 would be probably way ahead of schedule for me with JuJu.
I'm just wondering if maybe not verbally Deion said this to Salter, but he said, listen, I got this kid, 5-star recruit. You better show us something in that first game, or I'm going 2 of you in the next game.
I don't know if that was the direct.
I don't think that was the conversation.
Been,
I'm not saying that was the conversation.
Right.
I'm saying that was the thought process.
Maybe so. I think Deion will be patient in the development.
He's shown no patience. He's already putting JuJu in there after 1 game.
Yeah, but I think you got to consider that he went with his guy in what he knew was going to be a tough competitive game. That speaks loudly too. Yeah. He wasn't ready to put JuJu in that kind of situation. But in week 2 against Delaware, and it's nothing against the Hens, but
sure it is.
With Delaware coming in, you should have more of a margin for error in a game like that. So to me, it makes much more sense going with this kind of whatever the quarterback split's going to be. I don't know. Is it going to be 50-50, 60-40, 70-30? We'll just have to wait and see. But it makes more sense to me doing it this way, certainly before they got to deal with Houston, which is a Big 12 football team.
I have no idea what the final record is going to be for this team. Let's call it 7-5, 6-6. When is the last time a group of executives sat around a table for a major network and said, okay, let's see, this Colorado team just lost its two top players, arguably two of the top 5 players in college football. They're probably not going to be as good this year. Let's put them on national television against Delaware. Because that's
on Fox.
That's my point.
Yeah. Deion is the power of and the pull of Deion Sanders is nothing short of remarkable. We've talked about it since the day he stepped on campus. It is a tremendous attribute to have. It's quite remarkable that it continues into this year. Good for them and good for the program at the University of Colorado.
Yep.
The more eyes you can have on all of this, you'd like to have some success that goes with it, the better off the program is going to be. Look, remember, 6-6 is coming from a program that won what they win? 4 the first year with Deion, then they got to 9 last year. And if you get back to 6, you're still better than the 1-11 they were the year before.
Yeah, but we got to stop that.
Yes, you do.
That
You
to
do.
me is so far. The season before he got here, he's in his 3rd season.
Yeah, you're right. You're in your third
Let's
season.
stop talking about what
Agreed.
happened under Carl Durrell. Okay, we got to stop pressing that default button.
Yes.
This is his team now.
Yes, it is his team. It is his program. Well, it's been his program, but it is his team. And there's a difference, right? He's been the program, but now it's his team. It's his guys, period. And it's sink or swim. Can this coaching staff get the most out of this football team? And that remains to be seen. What is the most out of this football team? What does it look like? I tend to be like you. I'm more in the 6-6 range. That's kind of where I am. I don't think that would be a bad season for Colorado to have this year. We still are getting more information about life in the portal and generally stocking your team year to year with guys in the portal.
Just how good is CU right now? There are 2 lenses you can look through when looking at that Georgia Tech game. The first lens is they're not very good. When they had 3 turnovers on the opening 3 plays for Georgia Tech.
In 8 minutes and produced 7 points.
Okay. That's the lens you can look through if you want to be pessimistic. If you want to be optimistic, with under 2 minutes to play, the game was tied to 20.
Right.
So
That's
which lens do you want to look through? I can promise you, whichever lens you do look through, you will not have any more answers after the game against Delaware. But you will have more answers after the game against Houston.
The only way that you get some answers against Delaware would be bad answers.
Yes.
Right? Even the good outcome now will be looked a little bit with the jaundiced eye, and I get it. I get it. I want to see how they look. Then we can judge, how they got there. I want to see a team that's improved. I want to see a team. They've improved this week. They've learned from their mistakes. I want to see a team that can impose their will against a team that should not be able to line up against them and play competitively.
Are you giving 24 points and taking CU?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet with your money.
I mean, they better be there, right? I mean, come on. They better be there. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Right.
Let's see something. Run the damn football and do it at your will to set up some things that can allow you to be a little more dynamic pushing the ball down the field.
That's going to do it for us. Hot Takes with Goodman and Haertl. We got a football game tonight. 273 games starting tonight.
I'm a pig in slop. I really am. I'm a pig in slop right now.
Yeah.
Give me all the mud you want. I'm ready to go. There is something truly remarkable and wonderful about the start of every NFL season. And here we go. Tonight, tomorrow night, then into Sunday, a full slate. It's going to be a lot of fun, Eric.
By the way, on ESPN tomorrow, if the Cowboys lose, not if the world champions win.
Right.
If the Cowboys lose, the narrative is going to be, what's wrong with the Cowboys? Did they make a mistake trading Micah Parsons? It's not going to be about the world champs.
No.
It's going to be about the Dallas Cowboys.
And if we can work a little bit of the Los Angeles Lakers in there too, then it would be even better.
Yeah, because then we'll be talking about Luka Doncic's weight loss plan.
Yes, absolutely.
That will be the second story.
Ugh.
That's going to do it for us. Make it the best possible day you can.